The loudspeaker suddenly came to life. Please dispose of irrelevant personnel in the abandoned classroom on the first floor. Remember to strictly follow the classroom rules, a cold, mechanical voice announced. Irrelevant personnel? Everyone hesitated, then turned their attention to Lila's body. Who will do it? A male voice asked from the crowd. There was a long silence. No one dared to be alone, fearing they might be the next victim. Let's go together. It's safer with more people, I suggested. This proposal was met with approval from the others. The light on the first floor was flickering, casting eerie shadows. At the end of the hallway was the abandoned classroom mentioned in the announcement, with a set of class rules posted on the door. Do not share anything you see in the classroom with others. You can message Nora privately with any questions. Do not take anything from the classroom. Finally, remember to be kind and caring to each other. The last rule in particular gave me an ominous feeling. There was more to this abandoned classroom than met the eye. After the door was pushed open, we saw a messy, dust-filled room. Lila's body was carelessly thrown into a corner. Suddenly, a gust of wind blew the door shut, and a shadow passed by, locking us inside. With no way out, we began to search the room. The desks were covered in dust, but strangely, each one still had our names on it. Even more bizarrely, the classroom also contained desks for Alex, Emily, and Nora. Their desks were the only ones that were spotless. What did this mean? I approached Nora's desk and found a diary inside. The pages were yellowed with age. But as I opened the first page, I was stunned. November 24th, they mocked me again today, dunked my head in the sink, tangled a mop in my hair. November 27th, a new student arrived. He's handsome. He greeted me, but I couldn't speak back. They were watching me. December 11th, the new student talked to me. His voice is so nice. December 12th, they took me to the abandoned classroom. Punches landed on me, cigarette butts pressed into my hand. I couldn't speak from the pain. The one pulling my hair was my best friend, Emily. She said, people like me, like the birthmark on my face, should never be seen, don't deserve to speak to the new student. The last page was scrawled hastily, stained with blood. December 28th, I'm dead. They are all murderers. A chill ran down my spine. If Nora was dead, then who was the killer? Why does Nora's diary tell a completely different story from what Tom said? This thought troubled me. And then I remembered the last rule of the classroom, don't trust anyone's words. My heart sank, Tom was lying. But why? And why did the others, who knew the truth about Nora, agree with him? What were they hiding? As I pondered over the diary, a feeling grew within me. If I could unravel the truth about that year, I could catch the killer. Quietly, I pulled out my phone and messaged Nora. Is Nora dead? Yes. Is the diary truthful? Yes. My heart sank. My suspicions were confirmed. Is the killer of Alex among us? No. I gasped, staring at those words in disbelief. I looked around. The expressions varied, but everyone seemed guarded. With Lila's death, we were 13 girls in the abandoned classroom. What was going on? The killer wasn't among us? Nora's chilly response sent shivers down my spine. Could there be more than one killer? Suddenly, I recalled the shadow that locked us in the classroom. It seemed vaguely familiar. I stared at the closed door, biting my lip, a bad premonition brewing within me. Determined, I questioned Nora about each girl in the classroom, desperately trying to identify the killer. But each inquiry was met with a no. How could this be? I frowned deeply, staring at the chat. Could Nora be lying? That's when a desk nearby was kicked violently. Are we just going to wait to die? Tom barked furiously. I coldly eyed him. Did you lie about what happened to Nora? Catching a flash of guilt in his eyes, my heart skipped a beat. I didn't lie. Why would you think that? Tom retorted coldly. I remained silent, mindful of the first rule of the abandoned classroom. Something was off about Tom. I decided to confront him. You said Nora came back for revenge and is among us. Then who is that shadow locking the door? What are you hiding? Suddenly, all eyes turned to Tom. The people who had agreed with Tom before now looked nervous. I locked eyes with Tom, seeing a flash of malice in his gaze. Then, in a shocking turn, Tom pointed at me and accused. Jiang Han, stop pretending. You're the killer. I was dumbstruck, feeling a cold chill on my back that I wasn't the killer. Someone from the crowd chimed in, right, it must be Jiang Han. She led us to this abandoned classroom. She's in cahoots with whoever locked us in here. Echoes of agreement filled the room. Certainly, she found Alex's body. And she was the first to speak up about Emily. I looked coldly at those speaking. They all knew the truth about Nora. They were afraid I had discovered something. How did Nora die? Their eyes held a mixture of coldness and malice. Killing Jiang Han will save us all, Tom shouted. I stared at him in disbelief, my voice trembling. You want to kill me? Murder is a crime. You can't escape it, and I'm not the killer. Tom smirked coldly. If we don't tell, we'll know how you died. We'll just say you were killed by whoever locked us in here. Panic-stricken, I looked at the others. Then someone spoke up, reminding of the classroom rule about being caring and kind. Everyone fell silent. Tom's face turned dark with thought. I sighed in relief. No one would risk their life, knowing I wasn't the killer. Soon, everyone dispersed to search for clues. I could still feel eyes on me, as if waiting for a chance to end my life. I slumped into the seat with Lila's name, overwhelmed by the day's horrors. Leaning back, I suddenly noticed a newspaper in the desk. The headline was about a serial killer caught 13 years ago. The date of the paper was 3 years ago, the same day Nora died. The last victim was a girl surnamed Sue, who had fallen from a building. The killer was found admiring her corpse but denied killing her. I started piecing together the story. The date in Nora's diary and the newspaper matched. Public opinion believed the serial killer murdered Nora, but why were Tom and the others so nervous when I asked about her? What if Nora was pushed? I glanced around the gloomy classroom. The day's events and clues seemed to be leading me to the truth about Nora's case. But why? The person behind this knew the truth. Why not go to the police? Chilling thoughts raced through my mind. She trapped us in this remote school building, not just for us to discover the truth, but to experience the fear Nora felt before her death. This was a game with rules leading to a terrifying end. Then, the bell rang, spreading the eerie nursery rhyme throughout the building. Lila's pale body lay in the corner, hinting at our grim fate. "Quick, back to the classroom, the bell is ending," I yelled. Sweat dripped from my forehead as fear spread. Death seemed imminent. In a panic, we all ran to the classroom, making it back just as the bell stopped. Everyone exhaled in relief. I collapsed onto the desk, reaching inside for a water bottle, but instead, I felt hair. Disbelieving, I pulled out the item from the desk. It was a doll in a red dress, smiling eerily. The doll's face was smiling, but it was smeared with a red birthmark drawn in pen, eerily similar to Nora. Just then, Tom snatched the doll from my hands. "I told you Jiang Han is the killer. The classroom rule states the doll won't smile, but look, the doll from Jiang Han's desk is smiling. What does this imply?" "Jiang Han is the killer," Tom accused, holding the doll menacingly. A sense of dread filled me. The classroom rules didn't require us to be caring, which meant Tom could harm me. Out of options, I feigned composure. "Let's find the homeroom teacher. The rule says if the doll smiles, report it immediately to the teacher." "You wouldn't want to break the classroom rule, right?" I said, staring coldly at Tom. Our eyes met, each filled with determination and malice. Suddenly, the door opened. The homeroom teacher walked in, glanced at the doll in Tom's hand, and her expression turned to horror. "Did you take this doll from your desk? It's smiling. Why didn't you report it to me immediately? You dared to break the classroom rule." Tom, as if burned, quickly tossed the doll at me. "No. It's not mine. It's Jiang Han's. She's the one who broke the rule." I pressed my lips tightly together, looking at the homeroom teacher. She gazed back at me, her tone grave. The original doll had no smile. Now that it's smiling, it means the person who took it is the killer. Hearing this, everyone stepped back in fear, staring at me. I felt uneasy. But strangely, upon hearing this, Tom looked even more terrified, almost panicked. "Grab Jiang Han. She's the killer. If we catch her, we'll all be safe," someone in the crowd shouted. They were about to seize me when suddenly the lights went out, plunging the room into darkness. A piercing scream echoed, followed by a heavy thud outside. Tom was dead. He had fallen from the fourth-floor window. The window was too high for an accidental fall. He was pushed. When Tom died, the lights in the classroom immediately came back on. This was no coincidence. But why would Tom die? He hadn't broken any classroom rules. The one who had was me.
Thank you for taking the time to watch. If this video connected with you, I'd be grateful for your follow. Your likes and comments are not just numbers to me, they're a source of inspiration and encouragement. Your support truly means the world.